What's going on, everybody? I am super excited to have you here with me today, and we're going to talk all about the cardio challenge that we are kicking off this week. So, yesterday, if you are a member of the Nerd Gym, you took a look at all of the materials having to do with the cardio challenge. Today is our planning day, so I want to help answer some more questions on that, wrap up our planning, and get ready to rock and roll for this upcoming week, being our first week of 5 of the cardio challenge. If you are not a member of the Nerd Gym yet and you're just checking in to see what's going on, thank you. Thank you for being here. We will go ahead and dive right in. You're going to learn a lot about the cardiovascular exercise system in this video. You're going to learn all kinds of good stuff. So whether you are a member yet or not, then go ahead and keep listening. Feel free to drop into the comments. Let me know what your questions are. I've got a bunch of questions that we're answering in this particular live video. So let's go ahead and get into it here. Number one, why you should do the cardio challenge, or just improve your cardio in general. Okay, so the Simple 5 Cardio Challenge at the Nerd Gym will improve your cardio, resting heart rate, endurance, and stamina in just 5 short weeks. Oh man, better cardio is amazing. Better cardio means having a stronger heart, better lung capacity, higher metabolism, better cognitive function, better mood, and the ability to keep going all day and all night. Oh yeah. Well, all day or all night. I want you to sleep sometimes. You gotta have some sleep, people. Get some rest. It's good for you. But also get some cardio, because that's also good for you. Okay, let's dive in to the next part. So what is cardio exactly? Exactly. That's a word that gets tossed around a lot. Cardio is just short for cardiovascular and or cardiopulmonary exercise, also called aerobic exercise. Is the same thing. If somebody's talking about aerobics or they're talking about cardio, they're talking about the same thing. It is exercise that improves or is intended to improve the efficiency of the body's cardiovascular system. Okay? It's about absorbing and transporting oxygen to all the cells that need them. Really super important job. So there's a lot of really good reasons to do it. It is going to work your heart, it is going to work your lungs, and by virtue of doing that, it's going to work your entire circulatory system. There's very well documented reasons to do the cardio having to do with boosting mood and cognitive function. So if you've been a grumpy ass lately, like I've been, no. I know for me personally, and for a lot of the folks I work with, we're all working from home right now, myself included. The Nerd Gym Online teaches all classes from home. So while I do get up and teach the classes, I definitely need to get more cardio in, need to get more steps, because I feel the difference. I know the difference in how I feel when I'm getting enough cardio. So let's do it together with this challenge. I'm excited. So what is the cardio challenge? 5 days per week for 5 weeks, we're going to meet 5 challenge goals. Goal number 1, we are going to be working on baseline number of steps. So we want at least 5,000. Anything below 5,000 is considered sedentary. If you're already getting an average that's higher than that, that's okay. We're going to get into details on each of these points in this video as well. So hold on to your butts if I'm not covering what you need just yet. Goal number 2, go for a moderate intensity 5K walk, jog, or run. That's on top of your 5,000 steps. But alternatively, if you can't do that 5K, then you're going to add the approximate equivalent number of steps to your baseline. So you would be doing an additional 3,500 steps. So a total of 8,500 steps rather than 5,000 would be your goal if you're not going to go for the dedicated walk or run. Goal number 3, do 20 minutes of high intensity interval training. Yes, that is going to be things like the cardio classes that we do at the Nerd Gym, the live cardio classes that we do via Zoom, all that good stuff. Or if you can't make it to the live class, the pre-recorded classes or the programs, the written programs that we have in our secret membership website. If you are not a member of the Nerd Gym yet, sign up. www.thenerdgym.com. There are membership levels at all different levels, so you can sign up for one that works for you and get access to all this fabulous challenge stuff. Okay, goal number 3, do 20 minutes of high intensity interval training. Yes, And then goal number 4, post to Instagram with the hashtag Simple5Challenge. This is a unique hashtag that we use for our challenges so far, because so far nobody else is using them. So that's easy for me to find you, to see how you're doing. Social accountability is a huge way to stay motivated for a challenge like this. So we want that good social accountability. And then finally, goal number 5. Yes, I see it says goal 4 again here. I messed up the slide. Gee whiz. Okay, so goal number 5, track your resting heart rate to see improvement over time. A lower resting heart rate is going to mean that your heart is strong and can pump all the blood all over the place. So, well, all through your body. Hopefully not all over the place. That would be very messy and counterproductive to our health and fitness goals. All right, so let's do the FAQ on this one. How many steps do I need? So for general health, we're going to shoot for being at least somewhat active, according to the chart here. So somewhat active is a range between 5,000 and 10,000 steps every day. Yes, it's a big range. You're going to use a pedometer, a fitness tracker, or you're going to download an app on your phone that has a pedometer app, something to track your steps. We don't want you actually like counting every step verbally. That would get neurotic. So we are going to use a pedometer, a fitness tracker app, or a phone to track your steps to get in the habit. I am personally partial to pedometers. Because that is going to, you can clip it on your belt. It does just the one thing, so it's not distracting with a bunch of other stuff that we don't need on it. But if you do have a Fitbit or a step tracker, otherwise, yeah, go for that. The downside to the phone, downloading the app to the phone, it's a good way to get it done if you always have your phone on you. But if you set your phone down from time to time, which I hope for your mental health that you do, then it is going to be less accurate. So goal number 1 of the cardio challenge is to get at least 5,000 steps per day as your baseline. If you are already getting more steps than that, then use that average number as your baseline. Okay, so that's goal number 1. So how much cardio in general should I do? We are going to go by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services guidelines that say you should get 150 to 300 minutes of moderate intensity exercise per week, and or 75 to 150 minutes of vigorous intensity aerobic exercise each week. So what that breaks down to is going to be 30 to 60 minutes, 5 days per week of moderate intensity cardio. Now remember, this is in addition to your steps. Okay, you can't just do the steps. The steps aren't cardio. The steps, that's like a whole separate video. We'll do it another time. Trust me, you want to get the steps in. The cardio we do on top of that. That's why we have the cardio, the step goal, and then the separate 5K goal. But for some people that the steps is cardio because they're just getting started. If you're just getting started and the steps feels like cardio, then do the 8,500 step goal. Yes, and then if that just made no sense and it applies to you, feel free to message me. If you are a member, you can message me on Patreon. If you're not yet a member, go ahead and sign up and I'll help you. All right. So we want 30 to 60 minutes, 5 days per week, moderate intensity cardio, and 15 to 30 minutes, 5 days per week of intensity cardio. And our cardio classes at the Nerd Gym just happen to be 20 minutes long. So hey, how do you look at that? 20 minutes of high intensity interval training. That's perfect. So if you don't know, the live classes, we do them via Zoom. The Nerd Gym zooms right into your room at home. We come to you. We are the gym that comes to you at your house. And we do the cardio together. The top of each class block starts with a block of 20 minutes of cardio, followed by 20 minutes of strength, 20 minutes of stretching, 20 minutes of nutrition. So you get all the things. But this is why we're doing the goals 1 and 2 to give you all the cardio that you need in your challenge. So what is high or moderate intensity anyways? What the heck does that even mean? How can we tell if we're working out at a high intensity or moderate intensity? Okay, so there are 2 basic ways to get to know what your intensity is. So there's the RPE, rate of perceived exertion scale. Okay, that's a scale from 1 to 10 with descriptions of what different intensities feel like in those ranges. Okay, so that's one. We're going to zoom into that, what that means too. And then we've got heart rate, the number of times your heart beats per minute. You can estimate your max heart rate and go by a percentage of your max using a heart rate monitor. So we're going to either use sort of a subjective test to see how we feel during the cardio to see if it's high, moderate, low intensity, or we're going to go by our heart rate. Each has its advantages and disadvantages. Let's start with the first one. How do we use the RPE, rate of perceived exertion chart? Okay. So the rate of perceived exertion chart is the simple way to track your workout intensity. You read the description of the different level and try to match the difficulty for the appropriate level of exertion to your workout. For those of you who have actually looked at the Nerd Gym programming, members who have looked at the programming for the cardio, you know that I put little cute color-coded hearts corresponding to these different intensities so that you know what intensity you're supposed to be working at from interval to interval, whether it's a rest interval, moderate, intense interval, all that good stuff. So max effort 10 feels almost impossible to keep going, completely out of breath, unable to talk. 9, very difficult to maintain exercise intensity, can barely breathe and speak a single word. This is like if we're doing the very low short intervals, short amount of time, high intensity. In general, the shorter the interval, the higher in the intensity. If we're doing 20 seconds, you're going all out for that 20 seconds. If we're going for 90 seconds, then it's going to be like a little bit lower on this chart. So vigorous activity, 7 to 8, on the verge of becoming uncomfortable, short of breath, can speak a sentence, maybe, like a sentence. 4 to 6, moderate activity, feels like you can exercise for hours. Breathing heavy, can hold short conversation. I would say that this description is mostly true for people who are already have some exercise experience under their belt. This whole can exercise for hours bit. If you are a beginner and you're like, just the thought of exercising for hours is just like not happening, it's going to feel a little harder than that right there. Gets a little bit skewed at the beginning, but once you have a base level of fitness and exercise under your belt, then yeah, moderate activity feels like you can keep going for hours, and then light feels like you can maintain for hours, easy to breathe, easy to carry on a conversation. We're just chatting it up on this one. And then very light, anything other than sleeping, watching TV, writing in a car, etc. So just like a real leisurely walk down at one there. So the downside to using the RPE is that most people tend to overestimate where they are in the chart because cardio is stinking uncomfortable. It's not pleasant a lot of the time while we are doing it. We get all the benefits after the cardio. We get the good mood after the cardio. We get the good hormones, the good health benefits, the transportation of oxygen, but during it, it can be a little bit of a struggle bus. So yes, that's the big downside. You can use the talk test to find out if you are where you think you are on the chart. Sing the lyrics of a song that you know or tell a story to see how many sentences or words you can speak without stopping. That's how you can tell where you are on this chart. So we're going to work out at an RPE of 5 to 7 for moderate intensity. So right in here in between the green and the yellow. And we're going to work out an RPE of 8 to 10 for the high intensity. So like right up in that orange there is where we want to be for high intensity. Yes. But what if we don't want to use that chart? We don't want to think about our feelings while we're working out. We don't want to be subjective. We want objective data driving our workouts regardless of our feelings. F our feelings. What is my heart rate? You can calculate your estimated maximum heart rate by subtracting your age from 220. So for example, if you are 45 years old, 220 minus 45 is 175. That's your maximum heart rate. That's not the heart rate you're working out at. That's your maximum. It's the average number of times that your heart could beat during a minute of exercise if you were working out at your absolute maximum capacity. And again, this is an estimate, so it's not going to be perfectly accurate for everybody, but it's a good starting point. 60 to 70% of your max is what you want to use for moderate intensity. 80 to 90% of your max is what you want to use for high intensity. Okay, example, 175 is your max heart rate, times 0.60 equals 105 beats per minute for the low end of your moderate intensity. That's 60%. So, and then likewise, 175 times 0.7 would be your 123 beats per minute. So you'd want to work between 105 and 123 beats per minute in that moderate intensity. So if you're chugging along there and it's right around 115, 120, you're great. If it's getting up over 125, you may want to kick it back a little bit, getting a little too intense, for that range of the cardios. All right. And then likewise you would do times 0.8 and 0.9 to get your range for high intensity cardio. All right, so that brings us to what is the best monitor, because you're not going to be taking your pulse to try to figure this out and like looking at a watch while you're running or walking. So as far as accuracy goes, you are going to want a chest strap if you want the most accurate thing. Chest strap monitors, they're the ones that go like right below your chest, and it's a strap. It's a chest strap. I don't know how else to describe it. It's a chest strap. Chest strap monitors are going to be the most accurate. They're like 99% accurate. They work the same way as the EKG works. They pick up signals directly from your heart. They're basically right over your heart. So this is a really good one to get if we want accuracy. Unfortunately, a lot of people find them really uncomfortable and they say, oh, can't I just use my Fitbit, my fitness tracker? And yes, you can, sort of, but those things are not super accurate either. Of the big brands, Apple Watch, I guess, was tested to be at about 91% accuracy, so that's the best one. MyoFuse, I guess, was another good one, 90% accuracy. The Fitbit, 84% accurate, and the Basis Peak about 83% accurate. And I'll tell you, I've seen people let their heart rate drop while they're messing with their stupid watch, trying to figure it out. Like, am I working at the right intensity? It's like, well, now you're not. So go ahead and use whatever's convenient for you, but remember, you don't need any of this if you are using the RPE scale. So that's what I would recommend for most people. Okay, resting heart rate. Let's talk about resting heart rate because we are tracking this. What is resting heart rate? It is the number of beats per minute that your heart beats at rest. Yes. A normal resting heart rate for adults ranges from 60 to 100 beats per minute. 60 to 100. Okay, so 60 to 100 beats per minute average. And there are charts you can look up if you want to see how you stack up against normative data, men and women in different age brackets and that kind of thing. Those of you who know me know my problems with normative data. Just go find your resting heart rate and then look for improvement within yourself. Don't compare yourselves to other people. But it is good to know that if you are like up around that 100, it might be a good idea to see your doctor. You might have some other things going on that can be an indicator of other problems. Higher resting heart rate can be caused by stress, dehydration, lack of sleep, low level of fitness, and other health problems. So be sure to see your doctor if it's like high when you're resting. And then athletes have been known to have like resting heart rate or down around 40. Lower resting heart rate implies more efficient heart function and better cardiovascular fitness in most cases. There is a condition that's called athlete's heart. That sounds lovely, but it's actually not very good for you. So if you have a super low or super high heart rate, see your doctor. What we want to see is some gradual progress downward over time if we're in that middle range average. So yes, it's about heart efficiency. If my heart is like a little weak heart, and it's like and it's not pumping enough blood through my body, then yeah, I'm not gonna have a good day. But if it's like my heart is just like pumping the blood through my body, yes. Other fun fact about cardiovascular fitness is not only does your heart get stronger, but you also increase your total blood volume. So you get more blood in your body, so you have better circulation all the way down into your little extremities and your toes and everything, and up into your brains. So like everything benefits from cardio. You get juicy, you get strong. It's fantastic. So the goal 5 in the cardio challenge is to take a daily resting heart rate and then divide that by 5 to get your weekly average, so we can see the average hopefully go down over time. Yes, pretty cool. But how do we take that resting heart rate Let's see. So step one, you're going to choose the time to take your resting heart rate. It has to be when you've been resting. Your heart rate can stay elevated like 2-3 hours after exercise, so you have to be like sedentary for 2-3 hours. So when you first wake up is a good time, like before you've had any caffeine, because caffeine can affect your resting heart rate as well. So find a consistent time of day. Ideally we do it at the same time of day each time when we've been resting for a while. And what we're going to do is we are going to use your index and middle finger, and we're going to find your pulse on your neck. You're going to find your pulse on your own neck. I'm not going to find it for you. That would be weird. But you're going to gently, don't jab yourself in the neck. Apparently you can make yourself pass out that way. I've never tried it. Don't try it. Gently find your pulse right in the jugular. And then once you've found it, then you're going to literally just count the number of beats that go by for 1 whole minute. And that is your resting heart rate, is the number of beats per minute. Don't try to get cute with the, like, I'm going to count it for 10 seconds and multiply by 6. Just count it for 1 full minute, and you will come up with a more accurate number. And if you do have an analog clock, I recommend going by an analog clock, because like watching a thing go around in a circle while you're counting is a lot easier than watching numbers flash by while you're counting, because that can mess with your brain, or at least it does mine. Check your resting heart rate daily, get a weekly average, track your weekly average to see improvement. Yes. Okay. There we go. There we go. What is the best cardio for fat loss? Okay, cardio is strongly associated with fat loss and weight loss, and frankly, there's no reason for it. Will it help in the grand scheme of things? Yes, of course it will. It will improve your mood. It will improve your circulation. It will improve your digestion. And yes, it does burn some additional calories, but there is no stinking way in hell that you are going to out cardio your diet if you are overeating your calories. If you've ever actually looked at how long you have to walk or run to burn off the number of calories, like in one Oreo, it's redonkulous. Don't try to do that. Don't try to just use this cardio challenge as your singular method of fat loss. You do have to pair that with a good nutrition plan. So it depends on your diet. The bottom line is that cardio or exercise of any kind will not reduce your body fat without some adjustment to your diet. If you are, however, this is where you want to pay attention to nutrition cardio relationship. If you are on an extremely low calorie diet, you should only do low intensity exercise. You can't do the high intensity exercise. You're going to feel sick and pass out. So don't do that. Now, if you're doing a meal plan with me, if you're doing any of the meal plans of the Nerd Gym that we've got uploaded to the member site, you are good to go for your high and low intensity cardio, and you will lose weight, and the cardio will enhance your weight loss experience and your weight loss journey, and you're going to feel better every step of the way. So don't be discouraged from doing this challenge because it won't do the weight loss for you, but understand that it's not going to do it on its own. You do actually have to make changes to your nutrition. So yes, I do recommend that everybody get enough calories that you aren't passing out, that you are able to do your strength training and your high intensity interval training. There's more to life than fat loss, ladies and gentlemen and non-binary peoples. We want to make sure that we are feeling fabulous every step of the way and loving our body every step of the way. Yes. Okay. And then likewise, should I avoid cardio if I'm trying to gain weight? No. Cardio is healthy for every goal, including weight gain. In fact, if you tend to undereat, cardio can help regulate your appetite. Just make sure you are getting enough calories to account for the additional activity, and you will continue to gain weight while improving your heart and your lungs. That is what we want out of it anyways, right? If you need a mass gain program, try the Power Up meal plan or the If It Fits Your Macros for mass gain programs found in the Nerd Gym's member website. Just make sure you select the one for mass gain and your correct height, because it goes by how tall a human you are to figure out all that stuff. So make sure you select the right one for you, and you will have your custom meal plan with all the nutrients you need for success. Yes. Okay. What are the best cardio exercises? That depends on your goals and your current body. I would say there's no wrong best worst cardio exercises, but you want to, I would say the one big consideration with cardio, because there's a lot of stuff that is like jumping associated with cardio and jogging and jumping jacks and burpees and all that stuff. It depends on your goals and your current body. If your current body is more than 30 pounds excess fat, high impact running will put you at higher risk for joint injury. Okay, don't go for a jog if you haven't jogged. Even if you've only got like 30 extra pounds on you, even if it's not a lot of excess body weight, those 30 pounds come crashing down with velocity every time you jog. So keep that in mind, especially if you're just beginning. Now, I do have clients who are larger people, who want to be larger people, who have no intention of losing the excess body fat. They're happy. That's totally cool with me. They are doing strength training that fortifies their joints and their bones and all their things so that they can do the higher impact stuff, and that's fine. But if you happen to be one of the beginners in my cardio classes and you happen to see another person who is of similar heft to you doing the jumping stuff, don't take that to meaning that you should also do it. This is a very individual journey. Everybody has their own goals, their own, both their physical performance goals and their personal vanity goals. So all goals are valid. Your vanity is valid. All these things are valid, but we want to make sure that we're doing stuff that is going to actually benefit our body and not injure us. That's super important. So yes, do exercises that don't require any jumping or high impact if you are a heavier individual. If you need ideas, join a live class, or check out our programs or the pre-recorded videos in Nerd Gym Secrets member website. Again, if you're not a member, you can go ahead and click on www.thenerdgym.com, and that will take you to our Patreon page. You can join at the membership level that is right for you. I use Patreon as a way for us to do a sliding scale / honor system so that you can join at the membership that you can afford, and support the community and get fitter and healthier and more awesomer every single stinking day. So big thank you to all of our supporters. I appreciate you. You guys are awesome. You guys, you gals, you freaking fabulous human beings. I love you. Love you all so much. Okay, so yes, if you have specific sport goals, you will need to train in that sport. So runners got to run, swimmers got to swim, soccer players got to soccer. There's no getting around that if you've got a cardio sport goal that you have to work on as well. But other than that, there's no necessarily best cardio exercises for everybody. You have to find what's right for you. Okay. Can I exercise in the heat? Can I do cardio in the heat? It is stinking hot out, guys. When I first planned the 5th of September for our cardio kickoff, I was hoping against hope that here in Tucson, Arizona, that it would be just a little bit cooler than it is. Like, I wasn't hoping for much. Maybe like, the 90s. But here we are, and it's 105, 110 during the midday, so it's stinking hot. We don't want to work out during the midday, and then the other half of the country is too cold. So quick note about too cold for my members up in Canada and Massachusetts and Northwest Way. If you are working out in the cold, just make sure that you are dressed appropriately for the weather and not out there for too long. If it's super cold, you don't want to be sucking in that air, but cooler, like fall crisp temperature, is not a problem. But like super cold, you don't want to give yourself lung problems by working out in the super cold. But let's talk more about heat, because that's most of our peeps right now are in the heat. Exercising in hot weather puts extra stress on your body. If you don't take care when exercising in the heat, you risk serious illness. Both the exercise itself and the air temperature and humidity can increase your core body temperature. You can get your cardio outdoors during the hottest months of the year with some safety precautions and good planning. If you are the type of person who will not take safety precautions and good planning, then I need you to at least plan to get your cardio indoors some way, somehow. So with step aerobics or the treadmill or a stationary bike, the live cardio classes will have you covered for your high intensity interval training. If you are a person who is in my program who doesn't have a good way of doing indoor long duration steady state cardio or getting your steps in, let me know if it would be beneficial for you to have me make a longer format step aerobics, like easy step aerobics but without a step kind of video, kind of like dancing for people who don't dance. Because that's basically what it is. But yes, dancing or something in home, in the air conditioning, if you're not going to plan appropriately outdoors. But let's say you are a good planner, and that's what you're doing today. Let's talk about planning for working out outdoors. Number one, hydration. Stay hydrated all day, not just in the minutes before you go out. Don't say, oh, well, I haven't drank water in 24 hours, but I'm about to go out in 105-degree heat, so I'm going to chug this 8-ounce glass of water and hope that it's enough. It's not going to be. Don't think that you can do that. You got to drink 3 to 6 liters, or about a gallon to gallon and a half of water per day. 1 to 2 gallons of water per day throughout the day. The average person sweats between 1 and 6 liters. So the only person who's sweating around 1-2 liters are the people who are indoors, who are sedentary. If you're going to be getting more cardio, you're going to be sweating more, you got to get at least 3. Get a gallon of water, 1 to 2 gallons per day. So number 2 is time of day. Go out early morning or after the sun sets if you've got a place to go that isn't dangerous after sunset. Okay, so if you're in an area with lots of vampires, stick to early morning. But if you are, like I live in an area that's well lit at night, fairly safe neighborhood, pretty easy for me to get out and do it in the evening. I'm not a morning person, so I prefer to do it in the evening anyways. But if I didn't have that, I would absolutely get my lazy behind to get up and do it early. So be prepared for that. Slow down. Slow the heck down, especially for those of you who are used to running a certain pace. For those of you who are like maybe runners who haven't been for a couple of months and you're like, time to get back out, I'm going to use the cardio challenge for that. Make sure that you are going to be honoring your body and listening to your body and not overexerting yourself in the heat. It's not worth it and it's unnecessary. And then finally, safety first. Plan your route so you won't be stranded far from home. I didn't put this in the slide here, but if you do have a partner to walk with or run with, get them roped into this. Absolutely, safety in numbers. Bring a fully charged cell phone in case you need to call for a ride. Bring a water bottle. Do not push through nausea. Do not push through dizziness. Do not push through headache. Do not push through cessation of sweating. So in other words, if you've been sweating and then you stop sweating, all of these are symptoms of heat stroke or heat exhaustion. So you don't want to push into that. Don't F around with that. If you feel any of those things, dizziness, nausea, headache, and you don't chalk it up to like, oh, well, I guess I'm just kind of weak right now and I haven't been getting out much. No, just throw up the white flag and go home. Go home. Live to fight another day if any of that crap happens to you out in the heat. All right? Get out there when it's cool as it can be, and if you feel any of those things, just wait for another day. It's not the end of the world, okay? You'll still get the support. Speaking of support, that's how we're going to stay motivated. Motivation is strongly tied to our social connections. So challenges are a great way to establish healthy habits in a relatively short period of time. But 5 whole weeks of consistency is not easy. 5 weeks is simultaneously a short and a really long period of time. So you really want to have the most simple and effective way of staying accountable, and that is with social accountability. Tell supportive people what you are doing. Get them to do it with you. Post about it on social media. Get friends and family to do it with you. The more the merrier, and come to as many live cardio classes as you can. Post to Instagram with the hashtag Simple5Challenge so that I can, so it's easy to find you when you have done the thing. Anytime you complete some or all of the challenge, still post with that hashtag, okay? This way you will not only be getting support, but you will be helping others. Help others achieve their goals too. If you don't do it for you, do it for the other folks who are doing it with ya. Do it for all the folks, okay? So that's how we stay motivated with that social accountability. And yes, we're going to be getting Discord going shortly too. I know a lot of you are very excited and anxious to switch over to Discord, especially since a lot of the stuff we have been doing has been on Facebook and Instagram, and now we've got the election season and we're getting bombarded with stuff. So in November we will be doing our long-awaited social media detox challenge. That's going to be our next challenge after we're done with the cardio challenge, or towards the end of the cardio challenge. You know, we like to overlap our challenges just a little bit. So coming up, we are going to be doing our social media detox challenge. But until then, we will still be using Instagram as our main place to make sure that we're checking in each day that we are doing our challenge goals with the hashtag Simple5Challenge. So now that you know what you need to know, let's go cardio, guys. Let's go cardio. Let's go do all the things, okay? I'm super excited to do it with you. I know that I have needed this just as much as you all, and I'm excited to be getting out there and getting my steps in again. I like using, I know some of you use like runner tracker apps and that kind of stuff. I like to use one called Zombie Run. It's kind of like similar to what is it, like the Nike app or whatever, where it shows you the little map of where you went, if you're the type of person who likes to run around outside like myself. And the Zombie Run app, it gives you a little audio story about being chased by zombies, which is fun. I think I'm not sponsored by them or anything, but so I won't be putting a link in there, but it's called Zombies, Run. Zombies Run. So I really enjoy that. That's one that I use. But yeah, listening to some good music while you're running. That's another thing you should do today. Get your music playlist together for your running playlist. One of the best personal hacks that I did when I was being very consistent with my running is that I would have a really killer music playlist that got me pumped, and I would set aside a time, like I say, okay, 5 o'clock, it's time for me to do my run. And even on the days where I'm like, man, I don't feel like it though, I'll probably just stay inside, maybe just forget about it, right? And then I would say, okay, Melanie, you can not go on your run today, but before you say that you're gonna put on your running shoes, and you're gonna put on your headphones, and you're gonna put on your running playlist, and then you decide. And then I put them on, and I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna step out the door, and then I'll decide. And I can always decide to come back in. But as soon as I felt that, that running playlist come in my ears, I was like, yes. And then I would have the Zombie Run app going with that. So I was like, yeah, I'm getting chased by zombies, and I'm hardcore, and it was a good time. So I'm looking forward to getting back to it. I'm looking forward to getting back to it with you all. I've been really enjoying the new cardio program that we've been doing together lately. I know that a lot of y'all have too. So I'm excited for this challenge. This is going to be a good 5-week challenge. So we're going to do it in spite of the stinky weather that we've been having, this hot weather. It'll be fine. It'll be fine, y'all. We're going to feel so good after this challenge. We're going to get those endorphins going. I'm looking forward to it. Again, if you're not a member of the Nerd Gym, go to www.thenerdgym.com. That will direct you to our Patreon page, so you can sign up at any membership level. You will get a personal one-on-one Zoom call with me, so I can help you get set up and launched into the challenge, even if it's a couple of days late. And if you're already a member and you have questions that I did not answer in this video, you can go ahead and either message me on Patreon or catch me in any of the live classes. You know I'm easy to find, so Patreon messages or live classes are the fastest way to get in touch with me there. And I will keep you posted on the next challenge, the social media detox challenge, when we're going to start using Discord instead of like Facebook groups and all that stuff to do our socializing and program updates and all that kind of stuff. Okay, cool. Let's see. So I'm going to end this live stream. I'm going to end it right now, and I will see you soon. See you soon.